Behind the Badge, brought to you by Big O Tires.
Police in Utah can do a lot of jobs, and that requires a lot of training, like the SWAT team or bomb squad. It may be more than you would think even. ABC4's Brian Carlson learning how deputies in Summit County juggle their jobs in today's Behind the Badge.
As you may imagine, when police have a lot of trainings for different jobs, it requires a lot of planning. Summit County deputies tell me it can be a real battle to decide how much they can actually fit in.
For whatever reason, they've got into an altercation.
Learning to fight off an attacker. It's just one of the many police trainings deputies juggle at the Summit County Sheriff's Office. With just 66 sworn officers, deputies each split duties to fill all the county's specialty response teams.
Actively right now, I'm over 6 different teams.
On the SWAT team, I'm an active shooter instructor, combatives instructor.
I'm on the mounted posse. I am on the SWAT team, and specifically I work as one of the snipers on the SWAT team.
Between Sergeant Tim Berger, Patrol Deputy Shane Norton, and Detective Buck Buffton, they're tied up in more than 20 different roles outside their daily duties.
Honor Guard. I'm over Honor Guard as well. Honor Guard
is... You forgot one.
Yeah. You know, there's, like I said, I'm over about 9.
You really do wear a lot of hats.
We do. Figuratively and literally.
Each team, like the defensive tactics team, requires deputies stay current on the latest techniques and trainings, which means putting in extra time at work.
I'm probably putting in between 96 and 120, 110 hours a pay period.
How do you juggle all that?
It can be difficult. Sometimes you feel a little spread thin at times.
I have a great support system in my wife and kids, and they support the training that I do.
I try to incorporate a lot of things that I do with my kids. I teach them all jiu-jitsu, and so we kind of interact that way and do things together that coincide and assist with the trainings that I do for work.
When home and work schedules conflict and the kids can't come to training matches on the mat, deputies must choose which duties to miss.
Doesn't cause any stress at home?
It can when we're planning vacations, and I'm like, oh, well, I've got SWAT training, and
I find myself missing out on things at home, like most of us do. But that's the sacrifice that we understand and my kids understand.
Deputies say that sacrifice for training, constantly wrestling with their schedule, pays off when they need it most.
When you learn how to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations through our training, you learn how to think clearly.
Because if I can't bring that to the table in training and they see it out on the street, they're not going to recognize in the same light, right? So
like in law enforcement, if we stop learning, it's really where you probably ought to stop being a cop, because it's an evolving profession that we have to stay ahead of the game with and always evolve with what's going on in the world. And you'll notice
they say learning to evolve here gives them that much better advantage when they need it out there. Now, deputies also say it's normal for members of law enforcement to do a few different jobs. In Summit County, they choose which teams they want to be a part of and how busy it makes them. When they're not working, some of those deputies you met also coach their kids' Little League teams, so they're busy. Back to you.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, Alana, so many people that I talk with say they are over it, and maybe we're almost there.
Glenn, I want you to forward those people to me. I am right there with them. I know it's April. A lot of people are ready for drier conditions, but that's just not the case. This, though, is winter's last stand. The storm system is one of the most significant of the season. You're looking at North Ogden as the snow comes down. Thank you to Brian for sending that our way. We've got moderate snow bands out there and cold temperatures, even colder air in place today than where we were yesterday. Temperatures below freezing, hitting the freezing point in Salt Lake, but we're 30s in Logan and Provo. Look at the 20s over in the West Desert. It's 40 in St. George. Goodness gracious, and we're not finished. No, we've got commutes that are going to be impacted into tonight. Very cold temperatures in southern Utah. Clear skies allowing for that hard freeze warning to go into effect near Zion National Park, Springdale, Laverton. Going to get real cold. So 18 inches of snow fell in Woodland Hills. And so what do you do on your first April Tuesday? Well, you grab your snowblower and you clear off the deck. Thanks to Peggy Sorensen for sending us this video. The Utah County benches getting slammed. And since Saturday, we have seen monumental snow totals, 25 inches in Logan. Randolph pretty close behind, 17.7 on the Bountiful Bench, where it continues to snow and lake effect possible for the overnight. 15.5 in West Jordan, west side of the valley, getting really healthy amounts towards daybreak. West Valley, a foot in Eden. Nephi, just shy of that. Salt Lake International, measuring 9.5 inches since Saturday. Huge storm. It's a big storm. 9 inches in Tooele, 8.5 in Lehigh. And there are areas that will pick up more. This trough is going to move to the east, but as it does, it will start to clear. We are just unsettled, and in the last few hours, you can see how those snow showers in northern Utah, they're still impacting us. Live view from Snow Basin, the mountains getting hit so hard, snow continuing to come down for the northern mountains. Very high avalanche danger. It's why Little Cottonwood is closed. We've got high danger for the entire Wasatch Range, the western Uintas, central Utah, and the Skyline area, and it's not a surprise why. This is late season snow, so it's heavy, it's wet, and it could easily slide, so we've got to be really careful. And there's more on the way. Yeah, lake effect potential for Salt Lake, Davis, and possibly Tooele counties. Looking pretty good, though, for Utah County even to tap into it for tomorrow morning. It's out there now. Additional snowfall is expected. Let's walk through the timeline here. The Futurecast gives you a really good idea of when you will see the heaviest snowfall in your backyard. You can see snow showers out there by 7 p.m. Central Utah by ABC4 News at 10. Still seeing snow showers over the I-15 corridor. Also, as you look towards the western end of the Great Salt Lake and up in Cache Valley, we have active skies holding on. Last night, the commute after work was just terrible. This morning, repeat performance, we could see it again. Here's why. Look at that band there by 5 a.m. That's the lake effect potential. And again, Davis, Salt Lake, and Utah counties could see that. We know the Uintas will continue to see snow. So will the mountains. This system not totally clearing until tomorrow afternoon. You're going to watch as those showers kind of taper off to the east by tomorrow afternoon. High pressure's knocking and going, do you want to warm up or do you want a pattern shift? Because that's what we're going to see, folks. Very dry conditions by Thursday at 6 p.m. and we will stay dry. And we have a rapid warm up on the way. That brings its own set of concerns. But here's how much additional snowfall we should expect for our northern valleys impacted by that lake enhancement. 3 to 6 for the benches, 6 to 12 for the mountains. Cottonwoods could go as high as an additional 16. We'll see what happens as we get through the overnight. Temperatures stay 20 to 30 degrees below seasonal norms for tomorrow. We've got the 30s in Price, 50s in St. George, 40s in the Four Corners area. Here's that rapid warm up. This is a concern because as we look at St. George, we go from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s. And I say, stay, Bob, stay. No, we actually go 80s for Easter Sunday. And we've got a lot of snow in the mountains in southern Utah that's going to see accelerated runoff there. Wasatch Front sees snow showers for tomorrow. Morning commute is going to be impacted. Then we turn off the spigot, it looks like, for an extended period of time. Temperatures get into the low 60s for Easter Sunday. It's like everybody who's been wanting it, it's coming.
But that just has worry written all over.
Oh, concerns. I feel like I can't be so excited for that warm-up because of our record-breaking snow. And it's going to be rough.
Hopefully they'll open the canyon tomorrow so people can go up.
I know, all that great snow, and you can't even get to it.
Well, the people who are up there, they're enjoying it. They're skiing it out.